Today's FBA All-Stars podcast is brought to you guys by A Machete, the most affordable and best value Amazon autoresponder product research database internationally for all Amazon sellers. This is a really powerful software, guys. You don't pay more for using multiple countries. I would definitely recommend checking it out. There's more and more features coming every day. I love it. I use it. You can do VAT invoicing. It makes life absolutely easy. FBAAllStars.com/amachete. And if you use offer code AllStars, you'll get 25% off per month. Check it out. FBAAllStars.com/amachete. Offer code AllStars.
This is FBA All-Stars, ground zero for building bigger, better private label profits and expanding existing Amazon businesses. I'm your host, Matt Ward, and I'm aiming for a 7-figure exit from my Amazon brand at the end of year 1. Aim high, accomplish the incredible. So, will you join me in my challenge? Welcome. This is FBA All-Stars. Let's get started.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of FBA All-Stars. I am out of breath. I just got off the phone with a really long interview with lots of phone problems. This one seems to be starting really, really well, though. Today we've got Mac Khan on the line. Mac, am I saying it right? I'm shit with names, so I just want to make sure.
Hey guys, how's it going? Thanks for having me, brother. It means a lot to me. Yeah, Mac is correct.
So Mac's in the Facebook group, and I have never met Mac. I've never really heard of Mac in any way, shape, or form. I've just seen him in the Facebook group, and he's always been really goddamn helpful. Every time he has a question, everything he shares, you seem to know your shit. And I was looking for a couple of high level sellers, and I bet without even asking, what's roughly your monthly sales? Are you over 5 figures at least? I'm guessing 6 figures somewhere.
Yeah, my monthly sales right now is about $70K.
Okay, yeah, so right around where I expected. Essentially, you know your stuff. You've been doing this a bit. What's your story, Mac? How did you get into Amazon?
Yeah, thanks, Matt, for having me. And I'm such a big fan of yours. Let me just tell you how great you are, and thanks for having me.
Everyone likes hearing how great they are.
Yeah. No, it's a dream come true, bro, because I've been watching every single goddamn webinar of yours and podcasts and things like that, and I've been inspired by you, and it means a lot to me to be on your show. Actually, my journey started in August 2014. And back then, I was actually going through a lot of problems, like, personal problems and business problems and things like that. I was actually I was selling on eBay prior to that with limited success. And I was then doing some research on Amazon FBA. And then I got into it. And my first launch was, believe it or not, was earphones and selling earphones. Like, the earphones, Matt, that they have on airplanes. Those
the really shitty ones.
Yeah. Yes. I started that, but I did some reviews, got, how things were back then, pretty easy to rank the stuff, and I was able to sell 250 units in 3 weeks. I was like, oh my God, this is actually really good, because back then I had a teaching job, like my profession is a teacher. I'm a math and physics teacher, and I really don't like teaching. So I was actually thinking about changing my damn career, teaching these kids. Oh, man, I don't know.
What percentage of teachers are not big fans of teaching? That's first question right there before we go further.
Oh, my God. In Canada, the teacher dropout rate is, believe it or not, it's like 65%.
Jesus, that's like getting divorced, but even worse. Okay, so that's what we're dealing with. Okay, teacher, continue.
Yeah, no, thanks, Matt. Yeah, so I was really sick and tired of my profession. Plus, I was going through some personal problems and some financial issues and things like that back 3 summers ago. So I said, man, I just had enough. Let's do it. Let's do it all the way. And after that, I still didn't really feel comfortable doing FBA, Matt. But what I did do was I started doing drop shipping on Amazon. As you know, in 2014 and early 2015, drop shipping on Amazon was really, really easy, merchant fulfilled. So during that Christmas, I made a killing, man. Like, I made $20,000 in profits in USD in just 1 month at Christmas. I was like, wow, this is working,
At that point, it's magic too. And then it's like, shit, I need to double down. I just need to get more of this and go bigger and harder. I imagine that's what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then from that point onwards, I just said, hey, you know what? Let's forget about dropshipping, because with dropshipping, I was getting crazy. I was pulling my hair out because I was just getting so many customer emails and replies and tracking numbers. And in one instance, believe it or not, one customer said somebody came to his door and they stole the item. So I had to reimburse the customer $100, So it was kind of painful. It's at times I enjoyed it, but I said, man, like this is working, but I need to jump back to FBA on a bigger scale. And that's exactly what I did. And we got some more products. We got some back support products and some pet products in other areas. And also we launched some new stuff in beauty products, and things really picked up.
So it sounds like you have a couple different brands. Are you a spray and pray kind of products guy, or are you building more focused brands?
Yeah, thanks, Matt. Actually, in the beginning, I was more like a products guy, because in the beginning, I wanted to just increase my revenue stream. So yeah, in the beginning, I was just getting my hands dirty and just launching products. But now I'm at a stage, and actually, me and my partner, we just started this a couple of months ago. We're just focusing on brands because in the end, if you package your item correctly, if you can, let's say if you're selling like a pet carrier, and if you can actually include like some sort of like a bundle with it, bundling works really well. And this is the direction that we're going with right now, is just bundling items and branding it, because branding works the best.
What's your focus for the future? What's your goals?
Oh, my goal for the future is like $200K a month.
Why? Where'd you pull the number from? Just because it's a cool number?
No, man, because that's the whole idea. Because I just want to $20K a month in profits. I mean.
Okay, $20K a month in profits. That's pretty solid right there. Then you'll Yeah,
$20K a month in USD in profits, because I'm in Canada, so the exchange rate is basically $1.30. So that helps a lot too, right? So if it's 20K times 1.3, I mean, it just increases it. So that's what we're getting. We're actually getting 10, 15 more new products in the next month. So we're pretty busy launching that. So we're actually contacting different Instagram influencers and talking to them about their prices and talking to some guys about video marketing and ranking stuff. As you know, ranking is a lot harder now, right? Like I think just relying on Amazon PPC, bro, is not enough. It's just not enough. So you gotta reach out to these influencers who have large followings. And branding helps in the sense that like we're getting some pet products, Matt, and we talked to some influencers in the pet category. And we have like 5 new products being launched in the pet category. So that really helps, right? Like you just go after your pet brand, and then you talk to these influencers who are in that brand, and they can market these different products for you for that brand.
What's your strategy for influencer marketing? How are you finding people? How are you getting them to promote your stuff? What are you paying? What kind of results are you getting?
Oh, actually, we're just starting now with influencer marketing. So I've contacted like a bunch of these influencers, and some are saying we're going to charge you $100 or $200 for text ad. Some are charging like $500, but I think it's really worth it for video. The video charges are more, right? Like they promote the video for you, and you give them products, and they do reviews for you, and they send out to their email subscribers what you're selling. So that really helps you rank organically, because I've done a lot of research on that, and I've talked to some people who are actually doing it successfully. So ranking-wise, it's just a killer. It just helps you a lot. And we're just going to be launching our Instagram marketing campaign for one of our products, one of our pet products, which actually already exists. So I'm looking forward to that. So
That's very cool.
The price, bro, just ranges. Like if you're just doing like a picture text ad, it's going to be much cheaper. But if you want to spend more money and do videos, which we really are, like a customized video that shows the different features of the product, that really helps a lot. Plus YouTube helps a lot too.
I would say try to negotiate. So if someone says you price. So we're doing a little bit now as well with influencer marketing. One guy told us he wanted $200 for a product video, and I said, okay, offer him 75. And he said he'd do it for 75. So I think a lot of times they shoot very high, assuming that you'll negotiate back.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. You have a lot of brands too, right? You sell on Amazon, probably 2-3 brands, I guess.
Yeah, one main brand, one smaller brand, which I'm kind of moving out of, liquidating, and then another brand which I partnered with a long time ago, which I just want to fucking get rid of it. All the stock is stuck there. That the account. There's a couple episodes coming out about how Amazon just deleted my seller email address account, so I can't access the account anymore because I complained a bit. Yeah, so trying to fix that stuff. But yeah, it's mainly one brand and then another one that's a little bit smaller.
Oh, so what do you mean Amazon deleted your email? Like they deleted your seller account, or like what happened?
So basically, I had an email address. I had a domain name for the account for the sports brand, and the domain name expired. Domain name expires, so my email address is no longer applicable. I try to sign in. Amazon wants me to send an email confirmation code. Obviously, I can't get the confirmation code. So I contact Amazon. I'm like, shit, I can't get into my account because I can't confirm my email.
Oh, my God.
So then they set up a new email for me. I used this new email for about a week, and then I see, heck, all of these products that I haven't looked at since the domain name expired. None of these products have been live. Amazon put them all on closed for no reason. So then I contacted them like, look, there was no reason to do this. I would like the $40 refund for all of the past months with you screwing on my business. And about an hour later, the email address on that account had been deleted. It's no longer in their system. I call them and ask them what's up, and they're like, we don't see this email address in our system. And it's like, oh my God. So you're playing in someone else's playground. So it's always good to remember that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So can you get your account back somehow, some way, Matt? Or
I'm still figuring out. I've called customer service a couple times. It's just a pain in the ass. This isn't the main account. This is an account that just doesn't matter hardly at all. I just want to take what's in there and just sell it off and make a little bit of extra cash from it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
So there's like no major like revenue loss. I hope not, right?
No, there's no major revenue loss. That's just not an important side of the business at all.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're pretty busy with launching stuff. I think you're busy in Europe and North America. I know you're selling in US and Canada, right?
Actually, not Canada. We thought about Canada, but then didn't end up doing it just because of the issues in the inventory side. We expanded into the US and Europe a little bit too much. So we, when you launch too many products, then you can't afford to.
Actually, let me tell you something really interesting, Matt, about what happened to me in Canada. Is believe it or not, and I want to share this with you with the listeners that you have on your awesome show. Guess what? The things in Canada are done so differently by Amazon FBA compared to the US. Okay, so I'll tell you what happened. So for about 6 weeks ago, I get a call from Amazon FBA Canada, right? And there's this one manager, this business manager. He's talking to me, and he says, "Hey, Mac, how's it going? I've noticed that you sell a lot. You sell successfully in the U.S. marketplace. However, you're not selling in Canada. What's the reason?" So you know what I told him, Matt? I said, well, I've done my research, and the market is very slow. And actually it is slow because, I mean, our population is only like 35 million, right? It's like, even California is 37 million. So, and it sells really slow. But you know what he told me? He said, well, think about it, because the Canadian market is one of the fastest growing markets in the world, and it's growing exponentially. And he actually even gave me his direct number, believe it or not. He said, I can help you with setting up FBA. I can help you with getting your products into the FBA centers easily. If you have any questions, call me. So I just find that
they give a shit. Once they get to a certain scale, you just don't matter at all.
Yeah, that's true. Yes. And I just find that the Canadians are so eager. I mean, the Canadians who work for Amazon FBA, they're so damn eager. I mean, you know, Matt, like nobody in the U.S. is going to give you their direct line, right? Like it's so hard to get a direct line for Amazon FBA in the U.S. I've tried it so many times, but these Canadians, they're so eager to get you on board. And he can say, oh yeah, I can even send you strategies. Listen to this. I can even send you strategies how to rank your product on Amazon Canada. I was like, seriously?
And let's be honest, Americans are dicks and Canadians are nice.
You think so? You think that's what it is?
No, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's they're just trying to get people on. And once they get to a certain point with Amazon, it's like, if you're doing 100,000 a month, if you're doing $1 million a month, you don't make a difference to Amazon. They're so big that they don't care. That's the problem. It's the same problem with like the U.S. government. It's too big to care.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And the U.S. market is really hot, right? Everybody's going after the U.S. market.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I said to him, I said, well, you know, thanks for your number and contact info. I'll think about it. He said, just send less to Amazon Canada because it's like, you know, a lot less traffic. But actually, you probably know this for those of you who are listening. The good thing is the prices in Canada are much more expensive because Canada is a more expensive country to live in than the U.S. Like it's more like a socialist country in a sense. Like the government pays for our healthcare and the taxes are high. So the product that sells in the U.S. for like $20, for example, in Canada, it's going to sell for like $30, $35 Canadian. So the profit margin is higher in Canada.
And there's less competition, so That's interesting. We might need to look into. I overexpanded a little bit, so we're not going to look into it yet. But maybe in the future, look into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking into it too, but I just think that there is a marketplace in Canada. It's just that if you do find that right product, you can do well in Canada, I believe, because the profit margin is really big.
Yeah, it would be great. The biggest issue is the shipping side of things. If you're bringing it in, you don't want to ship direct to Canada, so you're probably shipping to the U.S. and then playing import on the U.S. and the Canadian side.
No, actually, you can ship into Canada from China. We've done it.
But you need to have enough to ship, so you either have to air ship. Yeah, sea shipping would be hard. Like if you could go like cocaine smuggler, and as you get to the U.S., they toss them over the boat, and then another boat picks it up and brings it to Canada. You'd save yourself one whole import side.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's really true. Yeah, yeah. If you can get it air-shipped, using air freight.
Airship's much easier, yeah.
That would be really good. But yeah, I mean, the Canadian market, I mean, the thing with Canadians is that we don't really buy that much on e-commerce. It is much better than like how it was like 3 years ago. But it is picking up though, so the market is wide open. Not as good as Germany, I guess, but still, it's getting better.
Yeah, it's growing. And growing's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So, Mac, what are a couple of strategies that you use, things that people don't normally necessarily talk about, or some things that you think would be beneficial for people?
Yeah, don't go for cheap products. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I have to share with people and all these listeners that are watching, that are hearing our podcast and will hear our podcast is don't go for like cheaper products. Actually, I'll share my experience with you. So we used to sell this one product. It was like a seasonal item, and we stopped because we just had some QC issues with it. But we're actually looking back at it, and we're going to be talking to a new supplier about it. And it was like a really big product, like in terms of weight. And we were actually selling it for $60 American, that particular product. And the total cost of that product, including import fees and everything, MOQ included, our acquisition price for that product was like $31, including FBA fees per unit. And we're selling, and we're selling it for $50, $50.97. And man, I have to tell you, man, I'm honest with you. I'm not lying to you one bit. I launched that product. I told my friend in another city, just leave one review, please. Just leave one review. And I started my PPC. Within 48 hours, man, we sold like 20 units, 20 damn units with just one bloody review.
No competition, high margins.
No competition whatsoever. So this is the first experience and we actually did that last year, Matt, and I was shocked. I was like, what the hell? Like, is this like it's like a dream come true, right? And then, it was a summer item, so we let it sell out. We did really well with that product. We were selling like 20 to 25 a day with just one damn review for a week. And once we got like 6, 7 more reviews, we sold the damn thing out very fast, and we got more and more. But it was just like a seasonal item, so that's the other strategy that I would strongly suggest is go after not very expensive items, but as long as if the MOQ price is around like $10 or more, and if you do your research properly, if you do the right keyword research, then you can really kill it. You can really kill it. If you can afford to get something expensive, you can really kill it, really.
Definitely. Look for a reason why a product is shitty, because if there's a reason why not everyone wants to sell it, then you can sell it and make money.
Yeah, and also the other thing is I've noticed is that if you brand your product and if it's like a very expensive product, there's generally less competition. That's the first thing. The second thing is you won't find these little bastard piggybackers. I mean, that'll actually jump on your listing. I'm pretty sure you've had experience with these piggybackers, right? With some of your listings?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, I hate these guys, and I just send them like cease and desist letter, and it's such a pain in the ass. But with higher end products, I have not seen or witnessed any piggybackers whatsoever.
The worst are the Chinese hijackers, because then if you have to order something, it takes like 3 weeks for them to fucking ship it. So then you're just kind of chilling there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. And actually, I'd recommend people, from my experience, to stay away from electronic products, because with electronic products, the return rate is too high.
And the margins are too low because that's been brought down so much by China.
I know. I would never sell like cell phone cases on Amazon. I would stay away from it because it's just dead end. It's just not worth it.
The guy I was talking to earlier, Kevin King, he runs a really cool mastermind, Illuminati mastermind. If anyone's listening, check it out. There's a free webinar video. Fucking, it was ridiculous. If you haven't checked this out, check it out, Mac. FBAAllStars.com/mastermind.
Sure.
Really, really high value stuff. But he was saying that one of his first products he no longer sells is a cell phone case that he did custom designed. He said the first year over Christmas, he was doing $15,000 a day with that product. One product. Yeah, that's freaking ridiculous.
And how much was the return rate? Did he mention any return rates or?
I don't think it was high. It wasn't electronics. That was accessories, so it's a little bit better than electronics. But yeah, things that move. But I like to be slightly lower moving, slightly higher margins and price point because otherwise the cash flow.
Yes. Yeah, I'm coming to realization to that with my own experience. Is definitely if you can get something from China for like $10 a unit, and if the market is there, you can easily sell it. From my experience, for a much higher price, and if the margins are good, just go for it. Just also with the PPC, I'm pretty careful. Like in the very beginning, like for product launches, I usually launch a product anywhere. The budget can vary anywhere from like $20 to $50. In the very beginning, I'm very aggressive. I just get all my data. I put it in automatic. In the very beginning, I get my data. And once I get my data, I analyze it. I see which keywords are working, which keywords are not working. Then I start to test and launch manual.
That's interesting. I usually start my strategies automatic and then set up a manual one with a scrape of all the AdWords ones. Also do like a single keywords campaign, split everything into single keywords. I'm a little bit more aggressive with it. Oh. And my reason being is if you cast more nets than if you're really efficient. So I like PPC Entourage. If you guys are listening, if you don't have essentially if you want better ACOS, go to FBAAllstars.com/PPC and use offer code FBA AllStars. You get 15% off a month for a year, which is a lot of money. But if you have some kind of tool like that so you can analyze your results better, you can look for the more performing keywords and you can cut out the shit. I like to focus on spraying as much as I can because then when you see the areas where there's no fish coming back, you just cut those off and then you're advertising. I like to advertise a little bit more and go faster.
Okay, let me ask you, Matt. No, thanks for sharing, Matt. Really appreciate it. So how do you do it? Do you group like 5 keywords at once in one ad campaign? Or like how do you do it? Like
I group like 1,000. I would take like everything Google keyword tool splits out at me, somewhere around 1,000 keywords, throw those in a broad match campaign, and then just see what performs on those. So obviously, most of them aren't going to get clicks. A small percentage of them will get most of the clicks. But a lot of people have different strategies, like they'll like to have a couple keywords in a group or whatever. I don't know what the hell the point is because you really want the most data possible and the most data on the most keywords. Because if I'm selling toe socks and for whatever reason I have ketchup in there and people are clicking on ketchup and I'm getting sales, I don't give a shit that it makes no sense. I'm getting sales. So I will keep taking that all day.
Yeah, it's really funny because did you notice this too? Like some keywords are so out there and the conversions are so good. The ACOS percentage is so good. And I've asked myself, I said, damn, I didn't expect that keyword to do so well.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's random. Maybe there's some kind of psychology at play, but essentially my rule is the numbers never lie. So just roll with the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. If it's giving you a good ACOS, then go for it, right? Mm-hmm. And if you can afford it, and then just go for it. But and also the other thing I want to mention is that sometimes it can be a good product, and from what I have noticed that if you don't if a product needs instructions, just don't ignore it. Like do the effort.
Yes, because you get the returns.
Yeah, exactly. And I find with all due respect to the U.S. marketplace and all that for Amazon, but I just find
the customers are idiots.
Yeah, they're just stupid, right?
So apparently the average reading level in the U.S. is it's either 7th and 8th or 8th and 9th grade. But even I think it's like that more or less around the world. It's always much lower than you would expect.
Wow.
But even when I put instructions on products and stuff, I send it instructions in the email. And I still get people returning it saying like the same exact thing or whatever. And it's just like, damn it. Wow. Just read the fucking instructions. But yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, instructions do help lower the return rate, I've noticed. It's just that it's important. Like, let's say if you're selling like a dog carrier and there's like a little bundle toy with it, And, I think it's just better to explain the process of how to use it, how to open it, how to put everything together. Because I think that kind of gives you a little bit more edge with your competitors. And also, cheap polybagging doesn't do. I think, if you go for better packaging and branded packaging, I think that extra money spent on branding your product makes your product stand out more, and it just looks sexier.
Definitely. And if ever anyone hasn't realized by now, you should put the FNSKU label right on your packaging. Just it gets printed on there, then you don't have to pay the bullshit labeling fees.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Amazon also has a service, I believe. They charge, 30, 35 cents?
They charge way too much money. But I literally design it onto the packaging. So when the cardboard gets printed, it's on there.
Oh, yeah.
It simplifies things. Unless you want to go to retail, and then you need to have also the UPC code, but it's not a big deal. Yeah,
and also I've noticed from my experience, Matt, and I want to share with all the people who are actually listening to this and will be listening to this show, if you have a choice between choosing a colored box packaging versus a non-colored box packaging, please do yourself a favor, invest a little bit more money. Go for colored box packaging, because I have witnessed it with my own eyes. The conversions are much better by at least 15 to 20%.
Just because it grabs your eye in the search results too.
Yeah,
so
it's just unique, right? Even though it might cost you friggin' 15 cents extra per unit, but it's totally damn worth it, because I've seen it. And black and white just doesn't stand out that well, and it just turns people off, I think, a little bit, Unless you pull off that really premium Apple type look. But yeah, I would say the same thing, go color. Yeah, and also the other thing that I have to say to all the listeners is that if you can choose let's say for us it's a pet brand, right? That's one of our brands, is a pet brand. And the reason why we chose it, because we have the Instagram influencer we're talking to, like I said. We also have existing pet products, and we're branding everything, right? It just makes it so much easier to launch related products in the pet category if your focus is actually on one bloody brand, It just makes it easier.
Easier and more valuable, because if you build a brand, you can sell it later.
Yeah, that's true.
Revenue streams much harder to sell.
Yeah, and also I've noticed on many occasions that people will come and they'll buy pet product number 1, and then they'll also buy pet product number 2 in the same bloody order.
Yeah, it can be really beneficial. One thing that some people do, one thing that I do as well, is you can have a picture as your 7th picture showing your other products, ASINs, and and if you want to get 10% off on our other products, yeah, it's against the terms of service, I think, but I'm not positive. You never really know, because Amazon's terms of service are very, very vague. So essentially, if you try to help yourself, you're breaking the TOS. But yeah, that can be a good way to boost your your units per order.
Yeah, and also I do a really good job. I use the tool called Merchant Words. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. I use it. That's one of my tools that I use, and I also use Jungle Scout, one of the tools that I use for product research and keyword research. So I would strongly recommend you guys look into those for sure.
Actually, in my opinion, I think Merchant Words is total bullshit. It seems like they pull the numbers out of their ass. I've used it before. Personally, I would recommend Google's Keyword Planner. It's really good because people's searches aren't going to change that much when they're looking for information versus products. If you want a more high-level keyword tool, Helium 10 is pretty solid. FBAAllStars.com/Helium10. That's Manny Coates. He runs the AM/PM podcast and that mastermind I was talking about. But it's pretty solid software for scraping competitors, looking at their keywords, etc.
Oh, okay. So that's bullshit, eh? Merchant Words?
I think it's bullshit. I mean, some people swear by it, but I've seen things where it's there's no way in fucking hell that is the keyword that's getting just numbers being way, way off of what you would expect and what Google says. I don't know. I mean, I can be wrong, but you never know. I imagine it's some kind of extrapolation of data.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And also I would strongly recommend, for anyone who's into FBA, just because I also do FBA sourcing and consulting, right? If you go to macwebmarketing.com, you'll see what I do for consulting. One of the things that I talk to people about is the fact that, be conservative, but don't be conservative. When you're starting your FBA business, some people, they have asked me, Matt, so many times, hey, can I start my FBA business with $100? I said, yeah, I mean, you can, but don't expect much, I mean, you cannot do much with $100, really. I mean, you cannot get a return on $100 for a long time, right? So I would recommend like shoot higher, aim higher, and be more aggressive, be smart, do your research, and invest a little bit more in your business to see a higher return.
Definitely. I mean, if you're not buying at least 1,000 units, 2,000 units, you're just wasting your time.
Yes.
Yeah. There's not really another way of putting that. I think any of those people that talk about doing the really low things are just kind of, they're just selling a dream, a stupid dream.
I know.
Yeah. Your time is worth more than the amount of money you're going to save by doing it for 500 or whatever.
I know.
Go big or sit down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the other advice I give people is get something durable, no electronic products in the beginning, and something that's not very complicated to get the feel of Amazon and how things work and how you can actually scale your FBA business. The other thing I have to talk about actually is the fact that, as you know, Matt, like fucking like Amazon guys, they always increase their warehouse storage fees. So what we do is we have a warehouse in the U.S. and we say, hey guys, give us a deal, charge us less. We would send only like 100 units in the first week and see how it goes, and just store the other 900 units in your warehouse, because FBA fees are just increasing. The storage fees are just increasing, and that's
the fulfillment fees. Yeah, they just keep increasing every year.
Yeah, so the way we do it is, let's say if something sells like 300 units a month, we would probably on the safe side, I'm just saying 400 units a month, 450 units a month, to be on the safe side, right? Just in case if somebody comes and they buy like, more units. This way you're not spending so much, you're not giving your money away to Amazon so much regarding your monthly warehousing fees, because they do add up. I'm sure you've seen it.
That's interesting. Can you send me a link to whoever you're working with, and we'll put them in the show notes, because that could be something really helpful for me and a lot of listeners.
Yeah, for sure. I'm going to do that. Yes.
So Matt, this has been pretty helpful. This has been very valuable. I like to keep these short, sweet, and to the point. Is there anything that we haven't covered you think we need to cover? Anything you want to talk about? Anything you want to pitch, plug, etc.?
Well, I guess I'm just gonna talk about my consulting services.
Go for it.
Okay, cool. So yeah, guys, if you need any advice or help with starting your FBA business, feel free to contact me. I'll send my website to Matt. It's actually macwebmarketing.com. And if you click on Amazon Consulting Services, you'll see some description, and you can actually set up a 30 minutes free Skype call consultation with me, and I can actually help you launch your product and do a bunch of other shit, campaign analysis and doing branding your products and doing a bunch of other stuff. And I can also help you actually source products from China too. So that would be really great. If you're interested, just feel forward to talk to me, and we can take it from there.
Awesome. Thanks for coming on today, Mac. Thanks for doing a great job. If you guys aren't in the Facebook group, check it out. FBAAllstars.com/FB, i.e. Facebook. Check it out. Mac's always in there. He's always making great. I think I made you a moderator at some point back.
Yeah, you did.
Because you were always very valuable in the group. So certain people are valuable. Most people are just posting a lot of bullshit. I need 10 reviews. Here's my product. Leave me whatever. So
thank you, Matt. Yeah. It's a great honor, Matt, to be on the show. I really love you, bro, and just keep up the good work. I'm surprised. I have a question for you before you go, actually.
Go for it.
What surprises me is how the frick you get the time to do like 20 tasks, man. Like you're all over the place. You're doing like so many different projects. Like how do you manage?
Poorly. I have a bunch of Slack teams. I've got Google, little sticky notes on the side. I probably work a little bit too much. I got a little bit burned out lately, so that's been tough. I'm focusing more on the podcast and making that better now. Yeah. If I doubled down on things, I could probably move a little bit faster with them. But systems, the Amazon business, I've been working a lot on systematizing things, trying to hand over and build the team as much as I can in the transition phase. But I'm not very good at being bored.
Yeah, I wish you luck with your South Africa trip. When are you going to South Africa?
No, we were there. So I was there for 4 months. It was pretty freaking awesome. I'm not going to lie. I definitely recommend Cape Town. But we're back in Switzerland now, and spending a little bit of time here.
You love Switzerland? That's like your first home, I guess. Kind of not right.
Yeah, Switzerland's pretty solid. My wife's Swiss, actually, so I haven't really talked about any of that on the podcast. But yeah, my wife's Swiss, so we're here seeing her family a bit.
Oh, you don't miss the U.S. that much, right?
There's good and bad things. Miss the family, but the country kind of sucks, and it seems to be going downhill.
Nice. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. No, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, bro. It means a lot to me. So, yeah, we'll keep in touch, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And don't forget, if Trump does start to get a little bit more serious, you might have more business going on in Canada. A couple of those Amazon buyers may be going north.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah.
It's a wild world, Wild West. Thanks for coming on, Mac.
Thanks for coming, Mac. Thank you so much.
And thanks for tuning in, guys. Yeah. Talk to you guys later. Peace.
Take care, guys.
You've been listening to FBA All-Stars, the private label show about creating and scaling your Amazon business to smash your goals and fuel your passion. I'm your host, Matt Ward. And if building a bigger, sexier, more profitable Amazon business is something you're working towards, check out FBAAllStars.com for access to the latest show notes, Amazon hacks, and profit strategies to skyrocket your sales, BSR, and bottom line. This is your year, guys. Own it.